Hey everyone, welcome to Sam's Sports Corner, episode 84. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the return. It is the return of Sam's Sports Corner and of sports as we know it. We have been on pause with the rest of the sports world because of COVID-19 and the quarantine. But here we are in the friendly confines of my apartment on my original Wrigley seats, which is perfect because baseball's back. It's opening day for the Cubs, and the Cubs are undefeated at the end of July. How sweet is that to sound? I mean, if that was the case, normally, okay, we're winning the whole thing. But the season has just started, ladies and gentlemen, but we started out with a win. The beginning of the David Ross era as a manager has begun, and we begin at 1-0. Kyle Hendricks threw a complete game shutout, and this is the first complete game on opening day for a Cubs since 1974. First in the league since like 2012 or 13 when Clayton Kershaw did it a few years ago. So we're going to do a quick recap of the COVID world and talk a little bit about today. So baseball's back. We're going to do 60 games. Hockey's about to be back. There's a play-in round and a round robin of those who are already in, and then we start the Stanley Cup playoffs. Go Blackhawks. The NFL will be back. A lot of doom and gloom about money and player safety. Let's remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is a $5 billion industry. The NFL will be back. However, NCAA football will not be back. I'm calling it right now. The NCAA still has to pretend like they care about student athletes. They don't. They're an evil organization, and they don't care about student athletes, but they still have to pretend like they do, and so do the universities. So they're all going to back off and say, well, it's not safe, so we can't have the players play. Big industry, but they have to pretend. They have to upkeep the image that they care. The UFC has been absolutely electric since quarantine started out there in Yas Island and wherever else. They've been able to set up fights. Dana White's a genius, and those fights have been absolutely electric. If you're a blood sport person and you're not watching, figure it out. If you don't know if you are, you need to be watching because there are some amazing fights going on. The XFL is dead. RIP to my Battlehawks. They would have been national champions, but COVID got them. It's a shame. So, but some good things came out of it. Jordan Ta'amu will be the backup for the Kansas City Chiefs. Not named as the backup yet, but he will be eventually. Ole Miss, we're declaring right now that Ole Miss baseball team is national champions. They were 17-1. They had won their last 17 straight, and they had just hit number one in the coaches poll or USA Today poll, one of the polls. And so we're declaring them national champions. And I honestly believe, and if someone could prove me wrong, I'd like you to, the NCAA released COVID here in the United States solely to keep Ole Miss from being national champions. That's how much they hate Ole Miss. And you and I all know that they're an evil organization. So that's not up for debate. They're an evil organization with evil people. But if someone can prove definitively that they did not release COVID-19 in the United States to keep Ole Miss from being national champions in baseball, I would like you to come to the debate table because I'm going to crush you with some facts, okay? Just try me. I'm begging you to try me with some facts, okay? Moving right along, Tom Brady is now a Buccaneer. Rob Gronkowski, now a Buccaneer. The Tampa Bay Gronkaneers, probably going to the NFC Championship to be defeated by the Bears. AFC will probably be the Chiefs and a team I'm going to talk about here shortly. We're going to talk about some team name changes. The Washington the Washington Redskins are no longer the Redskins. Huge scandal, this, that, and the other. More scandals about the Redskins. They are now Washington Football Team. I honestly believe they should have gone with Washington Football Club. I think it sounds a lot better. But they're a Washington Football Team. It's a temporary name change. We'll see what they go with in the long run, but they just decided to just go with Washington Football Team with the number on the side of the helmet. It looks good. It's a decent-looking uniform, very similar to the last stuff, just replacing the logo with a number. Washington Football Team. It's very generic. Not much to say about it. Dan Snyder, what can you say about him? I will talk about a new team that's very exciting. The Seattle Krakens. The next expansion team out of the NHL, the Seattle Krakens, team number 32. Their rollout is awesome. The name is awesome. The sweaters are absolutely beautiful. Their third best sweater in the league now, Blackhawks number 1, Maple Leafs number 2, Seattle Kraken number 3, and it's a far drop off after that. Maybe after that you could say the Red Wings, but it's a beautiful sweater. It's a beautiful name, beautiful team logo. They did everything right. Congrats to the NHL. I just hope they fix the expansion draft for them versus Vegas. Pre-Vegas, it was a shit show for the expansion team, and they had no chance at winning. We all saw what happened in Vegas. They made it way too easy, and the team crushed. There needs to be an in-between. They cannot be an absolute powerhouse. They also can't be soft as puppy shit. We have got to find an in-between for the NHL for this new team. Hopefully they do. I'm very excited for a team out of Seattle. I think I said in one of my first episodes they'd be one of the expansion places. If I didn't say it here, I said it somewhere else. And we're going to finish this week off with an Idiot of the Week. Idiot of the Week is the entire NFL outside of the Patriots organization, who have now guaranteed themselves a spot in the AFC Championship by signing Cam Newton for $1 million. One, ladies and gentlemen, guaranteed $1 million. They are paying Cam Newton, a man who's an MVP just 3 years ago, is now going to be the starting quarterbacks for the New England Patriots. The Bears let this happen. The Jaguars let this happen. The Bills let this happen. The Chargers let this happen. All of these teams who need a starting quarterback let this fucking happen. And now we are stuck with Bill Belichick and those fucking Patriots fans for another dynasty. A whole nother dynasty of those insufferable New England cunts, ladies and gentlemen, because the rest of the league let Bill Belichick have Cam Newton for $1 million. I don't even know what to say. I am blown away by the idiocy of the rest of the league to just let Cam Newton waltz into New England. They still have the same defense, same offense, but now they have the former MVP. And I don't want to hear it about, well, Tom Brady's Tom Brady. Cam Newton can actually run. Cam Newton, if he's healthy, is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, top 5, easy. And we just let them have him. We, the collective, we let it happen. I'm not even going to put blame solely on the GMs. It's all of us as a fan base. Any one of us could have planted a pipe bomb in Bill Belichick's office. None of us did it. We just let Cam Newton waltz in there. And we are going to pay for it. I am telling you right now, we, ladies and gentlemen, as the American public, are going to pay for it. We had a chance to shut up that little fucking kid who has that sign at every championship parade in New England. Oh, I'm only 7 years old and I've been alive for 42 championships. We had a chance to shut that little bastard up and we didn't take it. And we're going to pay for it. We're going to see that kid for the rest of our lives. It's really a shame. I have one closing thought, and that is the Desean Jackson drama. To be honest, I don't want this is as a Jew and as a sports fan, I don't want Desean Jackson's apology. It means nothing. He's a grown man living in the 21st century in a time when we have access to more information and technology than we ever have before, and as a grown man, he chose to be anti-Semite. He chose to be an anti-Semite and hate Jewish people, and nothing is going to change that. I don't care if he took a virtual tour of Auschwitz. I don't care if he sat down with Julian Edelman. I don't care if he talked to both sides of the table. He talked to anti-Semitic groups, and I talked to the Anti-Defamation League. I don't care. None of it's going to change his mind because he was a grown man when he made that Instagram post comparing Jews to termites and saying that we were thieves and we were going to destroy America and the black community. Nothing that comes after that means anything because nothing is going to actually change his mind. The only thing that's going to change his mind is his pocketbook, and that's why he's going on this apology tour to make sure the Jewish owner of the Eagles doesn't fire him. I just hope that, I hope one of the 4 Jewish players in the NFL pancakes his ass and it tears his ACL. That's justice to me. But you know what? This is America. Freedom of speech, I believe he has the right to be an ignorant asshole. I really do. I believe that with all my heart. I also believe there are consequences to your words and to your actions, and I think that would be just desserts. But I will say what I want everyone to think about for just a second is all the pundits who have had so many views and athletes who have had so many views about what's injustice and what's this and what's racist and what's that. and how many of them are now silent on the Desean Jackson drama? And they're all hypocrites. Every last one of them is a fucking hypocrite. Shannon Sharp's a hypocrite. LeBron James is the biggest hypocrite of the world. He had so much to say about when Drew Brees made a statement about kneeling for the flag, and I hate to get political and about this shit here, y'all. But LeBron James had so much to say about everything going on in the world, and hasn't said shit about Desean Jackson. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere, right, LeBron? That's what you said. So where's your statements about on what Desean Jackson said? I'm still waiting for LeBron James and some of these other pundits and athletes to just back up what they had to say with regards to Black Lives Matter about what Desean Jackson said. If they don't say anything, they're hypocrites, and that's what it boils down to. So I'm going to leave you on that. I'm so glad to be back. I'm so glad sports are back, and I will see you next week.